Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We'll get started here in just a moment. Hello there, Doom and Mexi, good to have you. Yeah, I got the turn. I was waiting last night, but it got to a point about 10:30, maybe about 11ish. I'm like, okay, I can't wait forever. Which is a good decision, actually, because the turn came at 1:35 AM. So, that would have been a late one, yeah, that would have been far too late. Usually I do get some sort of comment alongside the turn when he does send it, but no comment this time, which is interesting. Okay. Go ahead and get it up in just a moment. Excuse me. Right then, we'll take a look. So, decided to go for the more defensive-minded approach. The more... Well, I contemplated sending Kidabadai south. The issue is, we can't catch the cruisers. I'm not entirely sure. The Kidabadai should have been further south than it actually ended up, which is kind of weird. It should not have been there. But can't change that now. I think it might have been potentially like some sort of issue. It might have been some sort of issue really regarding operation points. But I'm not too sure. I can't really think of a reason why they would be so slow, but, well, they are what they are. So what I decided to do then is, Kidabadai is going to be taking station just off the coast of Manus Island, about 2 hexes off Manus Island. Rabal is going to remain as it was, so 100% cap. I put the G3s to 50-50 search because they were getting quite a lot of fatigue. The zeros weren't too bad on fatigue, so I decided, right, well, we could try and strike, but we don't know whether or not he's long-range capping, because we don't know where the carriers are. If we did strike, well, we could be butchered by F4Fs. That, and there's always the consideration here. He might have more warships. We didn't see all the warships that we saw beforehand. He may have a second bombardment lined up. Let's Triton there at track. Right, yeah, so that is really quite bold there. He's going right there into truck. That is bold. I mean, there are mines at truck, I believe. We do have patrol boats, but that's very bloody bold there. That's very bold. Yeah, Triton's a big pain in the arse. Okay. Oh, damage to the tubes, right, so he's had the forward tube there damaged. That's good news then, so he may not... Yeah, that's really good news, actually. Not quite a kill, but the actual torpedo tubes being damaged there is not good for him, so that might actually lessen his firepower there. And she hit a mine! Ha-ha! Yes, they do work. The system works. The mines work. Now, that might have been... I'd imagine that was a truck, but that might have been a Rabal. But he hit a mine there. Thank God for that. What kind of mines? The kind you find on the Windows PC as a game. Minesweeper. That's what he's doing right now. I believe that the mines that begin at the start of the game. I'm not too sure, actually. They're not sub-mines, anyway. They would be mines. Yeah, the exploded kind of mines, indeed. But the kind of mines that you would get on the CMs, ACMs, that sort of thing there. So we make it through the night phase here. How you doing there, BGG? Good to have you, my man. Do go ahead and check out the Battle Group Gamer on YouTube, by the way. He is doing his own War Pacific campaign. So I did send the light cruiser and 2 DDs in here. So you can see these were AKs, or AKLs, that apparently they evade combat. How the hell do they evade combat? How do they evade? And he'll distribute today as well, so do check that out. How did they manage to evade? I mean, it's daytime, 21,000 yards. I mean, these are AKLs and some of them are damaged there. Okay. I'm quite impressed by the fact that they managed to get out there. And we're already into the, are we in AM? Yes, we're in AM phase here. Oh, that's awesome. No, it's definitely nice if you do capture Singapore, I can definitely say that. Now, I did move a G3 squadron to Chiang Mai, so ideally we will have some torpedo strikes today, but we've seen a lot of... Yeah, a lot of assets there. You can see we have a lot of actual naval search there, but he's remained in position. I'm hoping that we can actually use that against him. See that we have naval search here. We do see allied ships. We see allied ships there as well, which is interesting. How you doing there, Alexander? Good to have you, my man. Okay. So, he's not gone north into the Bismarck Sea, which is obviously good. We do see subs there. That's also very good. Not good for him, though. Hey, didn't I just good to have you. No, we did have what looked to be a US sub go into truck. Well, it did go into truck. It had some of its torpedo tubes damaged. I mean, it sounds like it hit a mine. It looks like his forces that bombarded LeACHACiD have fallen back. We do see some additional USN assets to the south, which could be potentially the carriers there. We haven't had that information, but seeing assets down there is intriguing nonetheless. We did run as we did last turn, essentially, but the Kidbatai being north of Manus this time. Okay, so we continue to hit Vienna Fjord here at Bataan. Oh, we are taking some damage from flag. That's intriguing. We had it for a long time. Now, these actual bombers here, a lot of the bombers in Malaya, a lot of the, like, Sallies will be redeployed. Oh, that's fine, man. Nah. It's not going to be a super long one, I'd imagine. Coming in again. There we are. Continuing to bomb the Chinese forces over here, just trying to weaken them, really. Yeah, just disabling these squads is good. It slows them down as well, causes disruption, fatigue, that sort of thing there, really. Right, we are attacking over here. They were due to bomb here yesterday, but for some reason they did not. Now they're coming in at 17,000 feet. So we're going to hit the runway here at this base. We are yeah, we're doing quite well, hitting the supply dump. That's quite nice. I think the Lilies do drop about 4 bombs, so they're actually pretty good at this sort of thing here. Right, it should be more than coming in. Yeah, you can see they did pretty damn well. We do have a detection level quite high on there. We'll have more hits in Bataan. It'll probably be about 3 days, maybe, until all the forces arrive at Clark. More lands coming in. So it looks like there's moderate rain over there. We didn't have any huge events as of yet. He has moved his assets back that did bombard LeACHACiD to the south, which is interesting. Oh, well, he bombarded LeACHACiD yesterday. He didn't go for Rabal, thank God. Right, moving into the PM here. Right, so we do see those assets. I'm really hoping we actually get an actual torpedo strike. I mean, they are stationed at Chiang Mai. They should go for it. I think only 20% of the squadron is searching. The rest should be able to attack, so I'd be really quite surprised if they don't. They might not do it because they moved today, but I'd be surprised. Right, I'm surprised that the light cruise and DD didn't actually hit those AKs, considering, well, I don't know how they evaded them. I don't know how that happens. It's 21,000 yards, but, like, come on, man. I do want to see some torpedo strikes. I mean, we have sighted them. I don't know why they're not going in here. They should be within range. They need to do it. No? Okay. Well, I don't know why they're not going in there. Well, if he remains then tomorrow, the GFEs will have been in place a day, so they should fly with no problems. Kind of annoying. I was hoping they would actually be able to hit those ships today, but apparently not. But I guess we'll take it as is. We have hit him a few times with the naval search. I did run reconnaissance. I have reconnaissance over that hex, we'll see. We will have the Battle of Rangoon here today. Oh, wow, look at that, yeah. Oh, yeah. That looks like Rangoon's going to fall here today. 31 for the Rangoon BAF. We see the 103rd Base Force, we see the 107th Base Force, we see the RM Viper Force here. Yeah, that one of those units just wiped out there. Looks like Viper Force has just been wiped the hell out. So we are attacking with the 18th Division, 33rd Division, and the 1st RTA B Division. Well, B Detachment. 79, and that is Rangoon.
Greetings, everybody.
Yep, they surrendered. We will immediately begin marching north now. So he's marching south to Pegu. Excellent news. But that's it. It's too late now. Too late.
Boneheads wandering the Pacific Islands. Before we start the music, the Japanese High Command announced today that the ever-victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have captured Rangoon.
Tanohaka Banzai. Yeah, that was really nice there. So he had level 2 fortifications. We take Rangoon really very easily there. That's very nice. We have 2 squads destroyed, 18 disabled, 3 disabled here. He loses 1,260 men. He doesn't have that many men here, but the fact is, yeah, you see 3 units were destroyed. He lost the RM Viper Force there, which is not good for him to lose. I believe they are paratroopers or something of that nature. They retreated. I didn't see where they retreated to because I wasn't looking at that point, actually. But the good news is now we'll have a division march immediately north, or 2 divisions march immediately north. We do have these assets over here, the actual Imperial Guard and 5th Division unload in here. So if he's going to bring this 17th Division to Bagu, okay, good luck with that one, my friend. We are going to have armor here as well, which should be there today. But there we go. First attack at Rangoon, and it falls to our ever-victorious Imperial Japanese Army. Not too sure about that there, BGG. Right, so we are attacking over here, so we do see the Medan forces that were the garrison. I'm hoping they can actually try to reduce them. They're not going to surrender, but they are going to continue to withdraw, I'd imagine. Oh, we don't actually defeat them in battle here today, because it is times 3 terrain. Right, that's true, that is true. Okay, we have fatigue there. So we'll have to reduce them over time. We are attacking Kuching again here today. I'm hoping that we can get Kuching today. The 215th Punjab Battalion. Yeah, they're nearly gone. I think we might have it today. Ideally, he doesn't have fortifications. But we should have it there. 37 to 13. Yes, Banzai. Kuching has fallen. And they're retreating. Where are they retreating to? There's no bases left. Sintang. Oh, is that the base in the interior? Possibly so. Yeah, bad base in the interior. Well, that's not too bad, then. I would have preferred them to surrender, but we'll deal with that. So we do finally break the base then. We do seize Kuching, which is nice then. So we do have the 575 there. We don't have any guys lost in the final attack, just disabled, so we can recover them. Have capable of Port Moresby. Right. Well, what we are going to be doing, we are going to be developing a plan to actually take Port Moresby. That is going to be the development from this. We're not going to sit idle. We are going to be pushing on to take Port Moresby in the coming days. Yeah, I mean, they're still destroyed, really. They won't be able to be a threat. But I would prefer them to be destroyed just because you don't have to worry about them again. So continuing to attack here. Oh, right, I see, they're just. Allied shock attack, wow. Not a good time. I mean, the 124th Infantry Regiment might be in movement mode here. But I had rebuilt the 56th Division. We do have a 16th Army, which is in move. Okay, yeah, he's losing units here. He just lost a unit. 4th KNL Regiment attacking. That is a very, very bold move. And... wow, did not expect that. That's going to cost him. I mean, this is it. This is times 3 terrain. This is Mountain Hex. It works just as well as... it works just as well as it does for him as for us. So yeah, we were in the ops there as well. We had 112 casualties. We inflicted 1,226 there. We didn't even have everybody in the combat mode there. Yeah, so he lost 48 squads there, 47 disabled, 12 destroyed there, 7 disabled. And because we rebuilt the division, I rebuilt the division as a 56, it's actually innately stronger now. So you can see that we had 14 guns there, so 2 destroyed, 12 disabled, 34 vehicles destroyed there, 11 disabled. That, yeah, as Doom says there, that'll speed things up. That will indeed speed things up. Wow. I think it depends on how the bases fall sometimes there, BGG. If you capture the base with no fight, then I think you do hold on to it, but I'm not too sure. We'll take a look. But yeah, that's quite nice. That's quite nice there. That's going to hurt him, and that's going to hurt him pretty damn bad now. I mean, he lost a unit there. I mean, I can understand what he was trying to do. Had we had the regiments as they were previously, they would have taken more damage, but the fact that we had the division there really strengthens them. Divisions are just so much stronger. Yeah, so you can see here, the 104th will need to recover, but we are reducing the 63rd Chinese Corps. It's difficult, and it's not going particularly well, but it's going as we need it to. Yeah, quite a few disabled there, but he has units disabled. I'm trying to reduce his actual AV before he can arrive here, but I do have another division detachment to wait on him shortly. So we're taking Beamer over here, which is nice. I think in fairness, in regards to Java, we moved in, and we moved in with a lot of force. Taking that base there now. Just gotta take every dot base in the area. Capture that base there, Tenaheka Banzai. Is it Tenaheka or Tenaheka? I forget which one it is now. Hayeka? Yeah, Hayeka. Hayeka. I'll have to look at that. So we do have, wow, span, wow. Port Blair, Kopang expands fortifications, and Bond expands fortifications. And that's been a good event, so we have size to airfield of Port Blair, which I'm very happy about. I would have been happier had we torpedoed those actual ships he has off the coast of Burma. It's weird. No, we didn't hit anything there. He moved his forces out. I was a little bit worried about he might have actually moved forces into the Bismarck Sea, but he did not. I was somewhat worried he might have hit Rabaul, but he did not, but that's fine. So Rabaul continues to build up, we can rest our aircraft. And we'll take a look at the information that we've actually gained during return from the naval search, and we'll be able to make some decisions as to what to do next. But the aim this coming days will be to take Port Moresby. We have something like 5 or 6 naval guard units that have been planning for it for a long time now. First Radiant Sentai, yeah, because I moved them out there. Additional units arriving there, which is nice. Okay, there we go. I'm very happy about that. It's been actually pretty good. I think he chose the wrong target with his bombardment, and I think he appreciates that now. So it looks like he moved out of the area. It looks like he moved out at full speed, which is nice. It's a win of itself there, really. Starts using fuel. It would have been nice to have been able to strike against him. Trust me, I would have preferred to have done that. Right, so see these assets over here, which is intriguing. So, yep, that was force over there. So you can see that they will, they have definitely moved full speed there. The issue with that there just is if you have something set to, like, naval attack constantly, let's say a carrier comes into the area and you only have a light escort, they're going to get ripped to pieces, really. Everything relies upon prior warning for the most part. Yep, so it doesn't have detection over Rabaul, which is great news. It has a little bit of detection over Ley. So we did have, wow, build up to size 2 airfield today, which is excellent news. Building up there to ×3, which is excellent. We did actually get some aviation support in here. Only a little bit, but it's enough to work. So you can see that we have 4 there. We need more. But the good news is we can actually, well, we can, I don't know why they're moving so slow. They shouldn't be here either. There must be something that's going wrong here in terms of following units. There must be something that's going wrong here. Yeah, because they should have actually been... Yeah, they should have been there, so... Something's going wrong there. Have them... They shouldn't be going back to truck. We'll have to put a ship in there to get them... Yeah, something's going wrong with this then, so... This is how we want to move assets, but for some reason something's going wrong here, which is kind of weird. I don't know particularly why. We'll rearrange this thing, because it doesn't seem to be working for some reason. It should be working, I'm not entirely sure why there. Yeah, we have Shortlands and we have Tulagi that are running naval search. How many on? Right, so we have 18 fatigue there. So that's been reduced. You can see there, even for the A6M20, it's not too bad. They're flying cap, but they're flying cap at 0 range. They're flying just above the base, so that's not bad. And the good news is we really didn't lose that much, which is very nice. I think we only lost, I think Infinite Monkey said we lost about 100 or so supply at Ley. We did have a few units obviously beaten up from the bombardment. But in fairness, not too bad. We can have them recovered. The airbase is already beginning to repair now. It will repair slowly, but it will be repaired soon. You need to put these comments as one big comment there, just. I don't need any views when I got Just. He fills the chat up. Yeah, I'm only teasing, by the way. Right, let's take a look then. So we do have our additional engineers. They will arrive at Port Blair tomorrow. He does have a little detection of a Port Blair, 1 out of 0, so that looks like radio, maybe. Yeah, it looks like radio. I'll still have that, Just. Have a good one, my man. Right, so I do... Yeah, exactly. And we have 22nd Air Flotilla here, which is moving out now. They were previously here yesterday. They had been unloaded, but they've been reloaded and they're moving out of Port Blair now. There we go. Well, that amphibious... I mean, that's a different one. Fallen 109. Where's 109? Yeah, they're heading back. They had unloaded a base force over here to Kaviang. It just so happens that they moved through that hex. But it's good to see that, yep. And we did have all that move in there. Yes, you can see that we do have another AV arriving tomorrow, which is very nice. Yeah, we had all that fuel arrive today, which is good news. So he did have a sub, which was a Triton, move into the port here. So bad hit of mine, it seems. I'd have to take a look at the amount of mines. Well, we're looking at 299. Yeah, Justice French, I believe. Yep, okay, so we'll have another AV moving in there, which is nice, because there's additional aviation support there to work with. I think we have 300 mines, so 299 suggests that he hit a mine over there. A Rabal, yeah, 220, so we hit the mine over there. So we made 5% here today. We had 6% yesterday, but we did 5% here today. But either way, we're getting closer and closer to that level 7 airfield, which I'm looking forward to. This is now a level 2. Nadzab is closing on level 2 airfield, not too far now. I mean, this is going to be beautiful. But we are going to be pushing out now towards, yeah, see these assets over here. Well, I'm moving down now towards the area. Excuse me. Let's see. So I have them over here. Yes, we have the Dinas. Now, they have a maximum transfer range of 29. Yeah, I'll do that in a second, therefore. They have a maximum transfer range of 29. How far is... Yeah, that's 36. So I'm going to have to transfer them likely... Well, Hollandia's thunderstorms, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. Thunderstorms. There's some really, really bad weather in this area. I could go Ambon then, potentially. Ambon is extreme overcast, which is not exactly helpful. I could instead go to Delhi, perhaps. Delhi is a little bit closer. Clear skies with Delhi, yeah. It's closer to Hollandia. So I might as well transfer them to Delhi and then transfer them to Hollandia if we have to, and then we'll move them across. What has been banned in an area. So what I'm going to do then is have some Dinas actually transferred into the area here, the Key 46-2. I'm going to use them to obviously run proper reconnaissance over Port Moresby. We do have the actual infantry units that will prepare there. So you can see we have 4 Naval Guard units here. This one for some reason is under strength, so I'm going to have that actually recovered then, so they can stop that. I can put them into rest mode again here now. Let's put them into rest. Yep. So you can see the preparation, 55 Moresby, 34, 85, 60. So that is a good chunk of AV, and I do have another 52nd Naval Guard and the Maizuru 1st SLF. So that's 60, 62, 64 Port Moresby prep, 70 Port Moresby prep there. So that's like, what, nearly 6 full Naval Guard units ready to go there. What we need to do then is obviously have the coverage of fighters in the area. He's been somewhat humbled by that. I think he expected more and he didn't get that, which I'm very happy about. Right, they're unloading supply. They're unloading it bloody slowly, though, considering they're docked up. And they need to be aware that this is a very dangerous position to be. We do see these assets here. Severe storms, which probably does limit the ability here. Yeah, but the thing is, therefore, they don't need to be recovered. In fairness, when I need them recovered, I can have them recovered. Having replacements on for everybody isn't a good idea as such. You want to kind of have it funneled towards units that need it. But I appreciate the point being made there. Something to bear in mind. Obviously, if I do forget in the future, you can tell me about it. But yeah, that's something I'm usually quite good on, because I'm usually aware which units have been in battle for the most part. But you can definitely let me know in the future if I get it wrong. So we'll take a look at aircraft losses and ships today. So Nida, a Babs there, Catalina goes down, and Dornier 24K1 goes down there. So 2-2. On the ship sunk side, it is listed there the Triton, which, I mean, she was hit, she was damaged, and I imagine hit in the mind, so she's either dead or she's going to be extremely crippled. I didn't hear a submarine sinking sound effect, so she's likely crippled. Which is just as good, really. For the time being, obviously if we could sink her, that'd be preferable, but, well, she's crippled for a long time if she even makes it back. Yeah, I'm surprised that they made it through without being attacked by the CLDD. Quite surprised about that, considering they were on high fresh hold as well. Threat tolerance. Not too sure. We do see all these ships over here. Now, I do have G4Ms over here at Babaldwab. Take a look at Rabal shortly. Rabal's absolutely brilliant, untouched. But we'll take a look at that shortly. So, yeah, we do have the G4M1s over here. I imagine he's going to make a break, but it looks like he's out here at Mindanao. I mean, what I could do is actually have these guys run naval search. So 50-50 then, and they'll attack as well. But 21 hexes out from Babaldwab is pretty damn far. I mean, that's 21 hexes out from Babaldwab. Yeah. So we'll be able to cover over Mindanao there, which is quite nice. So we do have our forces. Okay, so we've still got the infantry on. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be the infantry that arrive tomorrow then. They should arrive tomorrow. Obviously that fatigue's slowing them down. But in fairness, it's, yeah, we'll have them here. Yeah, so you can see they have these units here then. So the artillery has arrived here today. Because obviously they had less fatigue. So they were due to arrive much sooner. You can see 14th Army's arrived here too. Okay. Have them in combat mode to help our units recover here as they arrive. Now, the artillery, I guess I will have them placed in rest mode. Can you reduce the rest so you can strike the AKLs? Well, the thing is, we're going to strike them anyway. We don't know if he has no fighters or not, so it's not worthwhile taking the risk there. 50-50 is more than sufficient, really. We have got to manage the fatigue level as well. Don't want to have a lot of ops losses for something that isn't particularly worthwhile. We'll get them. You don't have to go all in on everything, really. That's the thing to take away from that. Right, there we go. So we have them. So you can see that's 154 assault value here at this moment in time. You can see the guns there. But they'll recover. We do have them obviously planning for Bataan now, which is good. Okay. Yeah, so just need the infantry to make their way across to Clark. They probably will arrive tomorrow. I do have 65th Brigade here acting as the actual garrison. You can see they're recovering quite quickly. What we will do then is have them rest at Clark when they do arrive. The good news is there's plenty of supply here at Clark. It's a large base. You can see the fortifications continuing to rise, which is very impressive. We do have a lot of support here at Clark. If I take a look at engineers, obviously they have their own support. But what I want to look at then is, yeah, like the special base forces, they have, I mean, that naval support's really nice, aviation support, these are really good units, but they have like the 118 support there. Obviously they have 120 total. That's 106 there. Yeah, there will be other units over here that do have additional support. They're very good units to have. Okay. I feel like it's probably pulling these units out over here, to be honest. I've started to run reconnaissance of Cebu. What I'm thinking about is we'll have all the divisions head down here to Bataan, and then all I'll do is take a look at the actual state of the divisions, and I feel like it might be worthwhile just sending the Luzon division south. I had originally considered at least 2 divisions. It might be worthwhile to send 3 or 4 divisions that we have in Luzon, and just try to end this quickly. There are some mountainous hexes, so yeah. But I mean, that was amazing regarding over here. That was so good for us. Oh, so they were in combat mode, right, okay. So there we go. Oh no, they've been pushed into combat mode now, that's why. They weren't in combat mode beforehand. So these guys... so it looks like they've had their march cancelled because they moved into combat mode, it seems. Okay. Well, he's not going to be attacking anytime soon. I mean, this is it. Do I attack instead now? 438 AV. I do have another regiment arrive in here tomorrow. He lost a decent bit of AV there. I'd imagine his forces are actually really quite disorganized. It might be worthwhile going for it. I mean, you look at our fatigue and disruption there, is not bad at all. So I think I'll think on that one, but I reckon I probably will go ahead and attack that. It might be worthwhile massing more forces. We do see that the airfield is damaged as well, which is nice. Severe storms didn't help, but we have that damage. Very interesting stuff, 9 out of 11 there. What I'm thinking about doing is actually using paratroopers to take this base over here, which is a rough hex. Using that, so when we do take the space here, being able to force them to head this way into the clear terrain, which is over here, and being able to attack them in clear terrain, and then force them down here to clear terrain and keep on kicking his ass, really. I'd like to be able to take this mountainous hex as well. I think that hex is going to be very important to take there. But, I mean, the good news is he has these forces out here. They'd be a pain to deal with, but they're not going to be as tough as the forces in the north, where he had many, well, he had more numbers there. Yeah, they're marching a mile a day. That's going to take them a very long time to march there. It might simply just be worthwhile to pick them up via sea assets, which I hope I can do. But I need them there for the time being, so I might... Oh, this is it, isn't it? Actually, no, they're not making bad progress. Oh, yeah, because they're on the road, isn't it? These guys, certainly not. I keep telling them to return, but they're not returning for some reason, which is very, very odd. I need them to return. So please return. Okay, so Rabal was the question. So Rabal is in perfect order right now. You can see that we are closing on size 7. We have 26,000 tons of supply, 12,000 tons of fuel here, well, units of fuel. I think I will build a port up to size 4 then in the future, probably after the size 7 airfield, really. But yep, we're doing well there. The aircraft, I'll obviously modify their operation levels. I mean, this is it. He came in here, and he might think himself lucky that he actually got out there without being hit. And maybe we could have hit him, but we do not know where his carriers are. I kind of have a feeling that he might have been using Port Moresby to house fighters, but this is the reason why we need the Dinos, because I can't see right now. It might be worthwhile just having Dinos pushed over here to Hollandia, but the issue with thunderstorms is we'd likely have some losses there on the way over, so it's not particularly worthwhile losing an aircraft and pilots for something like that. So we'll take our time. I did send the forces out here then, so you can see he did have them discovered. But I had feared he might have sent a PT boat, so I actually had them covered by DDs. We're looking pretty good. The fact that he attacked over here is going to be pretty rough for him. How you doing there, BGG? Not yet. I'll take a look at yeah, I'll take a look at Van in a second. Yeah, so here we go. Triton hits mine on fire, heavy damage, yeah. So she's not doing very nice. Let's take a look at the battle over here then. I'm surprised he shot to attack there, really. He might have felt that we were moving out more forces than... I'm not too sure, but it didn't go well for him. So he attacked with 294 AV there. He lost 48, 47 disabled, so he still has a decent chunk of AV. But I imagine he would be in a pretty tough situation then, potentially due to fatigue and disruption. He had a unit outright destroyed though, which is nice. I'd have to take a look and find out what unit that was, but he lost quite a bit there. We'll try and mask the AV. What I might go ahead and do is actually have... But I don't know. In fairness, we'll consider that. It could be worthwhile attacking while he's somewhat weak. But then again, the situation doesn't change. There's still level 2 fortifications, still level 3 terrain. It might be that we just continue as we are. And I think I might go for that, because it will end soon enough, but I don't want to attack into that terrain yet. I don't have a lot of AV. I do and I don't, but not enough to overwhelm it. I think what I'd like to do then is bring down the 4th Division, and I think that's the one I'm going to bring down, really. The reason being they're nearly a complete division once again. They've got good experience and good morale. Let's take a look over here then at the 56th Division. Yeah, you can see that experience and morale's looking pretty good there. Yeah. We did have a headquarters there, which did help. Very nice. I think it was 254 AV last time, so it's recovered a little bit, actually. This is a bit of a shame. You can see fatigue's quite high here. So what we're going to do then is rest them, and then we'll attack that again. They're in times free terrain, which does not help. I do need to take these bases here. It's always worthwhile pursuing them, really, not to allow them to escape. We are closing in on Sabang now, and the good news is once we close it on Sabang, we'll be able to take it from there. I mean, there is major road down to that point, but I'll have a move down naval by amphibious means. 4 units, it should fall fairly easily. And so the good news is we're looking good. The final fall of Sumatra is not that far away, really. We just need to take every base. We'll have that base there, which is nice. We'll have the southern half of Sumatra under our control. There is this unit over here, which I'd like to wipe out in the future, but it's not a problem right now. Do you plan on keeping the air base at Sabang to watch the Malacca Strait? Well, I mean, this is it. It's an interesting question. In fairness, we will have Port Blair, and I probably might build up some of these islands over here. It's worthwhile having. I mean, I'd like to have like an aviation unit to each one of these hexes, more or less. Sabang is a little bit open. It's clear terrain as well. It's a size 1 airfield. Jungle there. We might. It's one of those, really. Probably will, because it is useful. It's on supply, so it'd be fine. We wouldn't have to do much in the way of upkeep. So he does have a unit out here, then. That's really intriguing, then. 1 unit. Very intriguing. Yeah, we see all these ships over here, and for some reason I didn't get the naval attack, which is very odd. I do have them over here. Let's take a look at the settings. Yeah, they're set to naval attack, 20% search. Everything else would have gone out there. But they were moved in, which might be why they didn't attack. But they should attack now. I mean, they're only 7 hexes away. We have pretty good identification. Stream overcast might have been why, but I'm not too sure. But we have good detection level. It's not looking good for him here, really. Yeah, he's moved the aircraft out of Rangoon. Had he not moved them out today, they would have been gone, but I think he knew Rangoon was going to go. So we'll take a look at Rangoon. So we have no fortifications, we have no damage. Ooh, actually, what did we gain here in terms of the industry? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go. So that is the entirety of Rangoon's industry intact, barring 1 bit of manpower. You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm sure you guys are happy about that too. There we go. So that is Rangoon captured intact there. So that is our major obstacle out of the way in Burma. Now begins the process of cleanup. He's moving to the south here. But if I take a look over here to Pegu, we have... Yes, there's now 695 assault value here at Pegu. Well, it's because you fought a battle for them. They were reduced by the actual units attacking. Had there been no battle, had his units moved out, then with the capture in bad way, then you would have kept the fortifications. But level 2 doesn't take that long to build up to be honest. But there we go, we have that secured now, which is absolutely brilliant. We take a look at our forces over here at Pegu. He's marching to Pegu, and yeah, good luck with that one, my friend. Good luck with that one. I'd love to put them into rest mode, but it looks like we'll have to wait until I can put them in rest mode. It looks like they need to recover a certain degree, and then you can put them in mode. Might be due to the really high disruption. But if I take a look over here, so we have 5th Division, which is still being unloaded here. So I can put them in combat mode as they'll arrive here tomorrow. We have all the artillery unload in here as well. We have a 14th Tank Regiment, which is here, which I will keep moving on to Rangoon. I do have the other 2 tank regiments over here. They're marching to Pegu now, while driving to Pegu, so they'll arrive then shortly. Yeah, this is it, really. There's nothing he can do. There's 695 assault value here now. Doesn't look like 695 deals, does it? Odd. There we go. So, yeah, we've got the Imperial Guard here. So, 5th Division Imperial Guard. We have the 1st RTA, 14th right now. Ah, yes, there's also the 6th Tank Regiment, which has arrived here today, which was unloaded, I should say. So, they've been unloaded. You can see fatigue and disruption. Obviously, you can see these units that... I think they're the ones that were... Yes, they were in battle there, weren't they? So, yeah, if he marches the 17th Division south, well... He's not going to have a good time. Frankly, he's not going to have a good time. We do have the RTA here. What I can do then is have the RTA march back south. I did have the 2nd RTA begin marching south, but I may not need to do that. But I think it would be worthwhile to have enough AV here to make sure he can't march back north. He's a brave man, really. So we see that there's 9 units over here. We see 4 units over here then. So we'll march north. That one can be dealt with at a later date, really. He could be trying to fly them out. But yeah, there's not much hope for them now. If we take a look at these guys, so 12, 7, 3, 3, 6 and 6 there. So I do need 120 AV as a garrison. So we'll have to sort that. I could send the 6 RTA in there. Is that 1st RTA in here? That's 1st RTA. Okay. Yeah, we have the Imperial Guard C and B. They may arrive at Pegu tomorrow. They're 23 now, so they should arrive tomorrow at Mulmian. I do have ships there awaiting them, so we can have them moved into Pegu then immediately. I don't know, it might be easy just to march them. Possibly so. But this is it. I mean, what we can do now is march north. I mean, you take a look at the north, there's jungle, 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 but this is it. We're going to be pursuing with divisions. We still have Prom under our control. That fell because we have more AV in the area, which is actually rather intriguing. Yeah, so, I feel bad for him. Not really, but it's going to suck. So they can march north. Yeah, they had good prep for Rangoon. 33rd here, so you can see they're complaining about supply. Yeah, so a little bit of fuel here, but the beautiful thing is now we have the port of Rangoon to ourselves. I'm not seeing any actual ships out this way. I do have my DMSs over here. I'm going to have a DMSs actually sent into Rangoon to clear it on mines. Very nice. So it'll take us a maybe about 2 turns or so to arrive there. I don't know why they're... What's that? What is their cruise speed? 15. I don't know why it's only showing like 4. That's strange. Oh well. Okay, I guess they'll be there when they get there. Weird. Oh, they've got ops points, so they might have been refueled here today. Ah, yes, that's why they were refueled here today, it seems. Yeah, ops points. Okay. Fair enough. Well, they'll be there then shortly. They'll have progress out to this way tomorrow, and then they'll probably arrive at Rangoon maybe the day after then, give or take. So undetected here. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. So if we take a look at the actual victory event, so we're at 12,515 now. He is down to 6,970 at this moment in time. It has changed from a minor to a major victory at this moment in time. So if we can keep the pressure up and keep hitting his actual assets and taking more VP, that's going to be really good for us. Our forces have arrived at Xi'an. The long march is now over. Do need to move a unit over here to make sure he can't cut that rail line. Well, that road line. Just in case it could trace supply out that way. That would be rather problematic. Right, they're in the hex there, so I just need a unit here. In fairness, I could potentially send 1 unit to the south there. It's unlikely he would, but it's also something to bear in mind. So you can see we have 4,107 AV now that has actually arrived in hex. So we'll have them in combat mode. And I will set them to a deliberate attack here. There we go. So you can see here, then preparation isn't especially impressive, but it's still good enough, and that's all we need there. See, we have a number of our gun battalions over here, which can obviously head elsewhere. They're obviously used against tanks, and the Chinese don't really have much in the way of tanks. Yeah, I know, it's quite the assemblage of power here. Yeah, we have 13th and 12th Army here. We do have the actual command HQ's planning. We will then figure out what we want to do. I'll probably have like 1,000 AV potentially head back down this way. I'm going to consider that. So I do have these divisions here. They need to recover the 37th. I imagine it's a lot disabled. Yeah, lots disabled, but they can be recovered soon enough then. So... okay. He'd likely retreat this way. I'd like to have a unit here, really. I do have the armoured car company here, which is actually perfect, so I'm going to actually have them taken out of the attack. I'm going to have them move south here to 84, 42. So we'll actually have control of this hex then, which is important. I need to make sure I've got control of that. The reason is right now, if you take a look, we've got control of all these hex sides except that one here. I want to make sure he can't retreat south. They're kind of awkward. Rightio. The forecast is overcast tomorrow, so it should be fine. Got that brigade marching this way, just secure this road. So we've caught up to him over here then. Go into combat mode. And attack. Yep, so we'll attack there tomorrow then. That tank, the armoured car company should arrive here then tomorrow. Not going to move on Yunnan. And the thing is about Yunnan, there's a decent amount of AV there, I believe, on start. I'd like to get some reconnaissance to get an idea of how strong it is. I know there's usually like... ooh, I think there's usually like a strong core there. I need to go ahead and actually take a look at the Allied turn to figure out how much AV there will be there, roughly. I think we'll move upon it at some point in the near future. Yeah. But in fairness, it might be easy just to make sure we take all the bases around the area, so he can't retreat and surrenders. I doubt he would surrender, though. He'd probably just move out into the interior, really. See that unit there? Okay. Do have the divisions marching here. So they will arrive likely tomorrow. 596 AV there. Just waiting on the 39th Division here. I need to get more reconnaissance going on in this area, because I don't know that much about his movements in southern China. Infinite Monkey is very much worried about the possibility he might have more coming down this way, and potentially a couple thousand AV. Possibly so. I had thought that Wu Chang was times 4 terrain. It's in fact times 2 terrain, which is kind of a worry. Han Kao's times 4. So we need to push out the perimeter here then to make sure he can't push upon us in that way. So what we're doing then is we're going to clear up this area. He's got this unit marching here. Which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but frankly makes it easier to deal with it, I imagine. I'd imagine he thinks that we don't have much in the way of AV, so what I might do is take one of these divisions and have it head this way. Yeah, the Chinese are a major pain in the arse, because it's terrible terrain out here. They can retreat, and it's annoying. You're going to really try and trap them, which is hard. So we see these units over here that we've been attacking. The 104th has been having a rough time, really, because they don't have that much AV due to disabled. And the terrain's, like, clear, but they're fighting a pretty like-for-like unit. So they'll arrive there tomorrow. The good news is, what I can do then is actually... Well, it's made it far easier to actually encircle him, because he'll be in this hex. I just need a unit in here, and I've got units in here. I've got Hong Kong, so he'll be essentially doomed there. What I could go ahead and do is just move a mortar into that hex, and then we control it then. He won't be able to retreat then, and he'll be doomed. I do think about potentially moving in, like, Naval Guard units into that area. Mainly because I do have 2 Naval Guard units here. It would be nice to have a little bit more AV in that area, but I don't know if it's worthwhile. Excuse me. Something we can decide upon, really. Yeah, I would have liked the CL to get those AKs, though. It's just rather surprising they didn't. Right, they're heading there to Miri. I'm going to have them refuel. And in fairness, I might have them try and carry some fuel across, really. So you can see that we're 196 now, so there's 104 supply. 104,000 supply that needs to be moved out there. We still have 20k there, nearly 21k, so it can get a good few thousand more units in there. Yeah, as Alexander says there. But there we go, we have the entirety of Borneo under our command, really. There's only this base over here, so I could try and take that by... I could take that by paratroopers, to be honest. I'd need paratroopers that could pull out from a... I need the H6K2Ls, I think they are. The reason being they don't need an airfield. Yeah, so they've taken that. They're not too bad here, but they can be placed into rest and recovery. So if I take a look at Kuching, so Kuching's obviously going to need some repairs. Yeah, the airfield's kind of blown there, which is impressive. But in fairness, there's no industry here, so it doesn't particularly matter, but it's a good base to have nonetheless. Yeah, we won a nice battle there. I mean, that shock attack against us was excellent. He can do that every day. Maybe. It's purple, which suggests that you can move up there. What I'll try and do then, let's see. Can I move up there? Yeah, no, that can't move up there. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, really. Maybe we could move a barge, but I don't think so. Yeah, it's a little bit strange sometimes. Right, okay. So place everybody into combat mode. So I do have the 33rd Division there. It would be nice to have both divisions moved out, and I think we can do that. It's going to take at least 2 days for them to move out there. You can see Rangoon's worth quite a lot to us, really. Well, it's worth a lot to the Allies. Yeah, you can see their value to the Allies is 1,200, value to Japan is 240. So we gained, but he lost quite a lot from that. And he's lost a few bases as of the last days. He's lost Rangoon, he lost Manila. Batan's not too far away, really. Java has been pretty much collapsing. He didn't gain what he needed down here at Lay. So just need to get the actual reconnaissance assets down that way. It's looking pretty good, yeah. He's running reconnaissance over here somehow. Well, it's either reconnaissance or it must be magic. It's one or the other, and it's getting quite lucky with it. But the good news is we haven't had any disruption to the amount of zeros we have. These zeros are still in good order, which is very nice. You can see that we have another 5 a day here, which is excellent. What we need is the ASW squadrons. You can see that we have these guys out here, these Jakes. This is what we've been waiting for, and this is what we will be using against Wake in the coming future. You can see that these do build up to much larger units, up to 24 there. But what's important here is you look at their experience. So you can see here that this one has gained experience this turn, so it's likely attacked here today. So you can see 67, 68, 68, 68, 69, 69, 68, 67, 69, 67. That's really good. Once they get up past 70, they're going to become monsters. And the thing is, it just makes it impossible for his units to operate out that way, which is going to be rough for him. He's not going to like that. He's going to struggle with that. Okay. You take a look at that. They're operating out at... what are they flying? They're flying 8 hexes there for their normal. So they're running ASW out to 4 hexes. Could boost that to 10. Would get more fatigue and potentially ops losses. So we'd gained an extra hex, but I don't know if it's worthwhile. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at Kilgore. The good news is he's lost detection on Kilgore now, so that's good to work with. We have some options. It might be that we have Kilgore head this way instead now, perhaps. We'll see. I would be very eager to move into this area as such, but I do want to take Port Moresman. I do believe it can be done. But we're going to do it our way. We're going to do it in the slow, methodical, grinding, absolute assuredness of victory style. And the way we'll achieve that by is obviously employing the airfield cluster at Lay. We do have engineers like we moved in towards that area. And we are aware now of submarines. And the interesting thing is, it's like you see that submarines out here have disappeared for the most part. We are seeing submarines out here to the north. We do see the submarines out here then around Truck. So he might have actually expected Kilgore to have been lingering in this area, or potentially to have things brought out this way. Or he might have thought, well, those assets are going to move back in towards Truck. And he was almost right, but not this time. Not exactly. So over here then, we have a number of ships actually repairing. So you can see that we have Hayate, Shiokaze, Asasio, Yugumo, and I-19 then undergoing repairs. Oh, does that mean that... it looks like the second Tone has actually finished then. That's cool. Yeah, reported there. So that's obviously probably by midway. Gain that base. Yugumo in the ARD. I'm looking forward to when we can actually have additional ARs converted. I'm looking forward to that day. Allied AP reported hits. Allied CL reported hit. Yeah, I can see the Jakes here operating near Truck. B5N2s. Okay. And this is it. We are seeing them reported hits. He's moved a lot of, well, actual assets in there. The thing is, he's not going to be able to rescue anything from Rangoon. So we're going to make sure, well, from Burma, we're going to make sure he cannot do that. Hurricane sighted over Tungo, which is interesting. So it looks like he might be running like some sort of sweep. How you doing there, SD League? Good to have you, my man. Yes, Yugumo here. No additional repairs possible on the Hiei. I'm going to have Hiei actually placed into repair ship, I reckon. Repairs completed on the Kagiro. Having more ARs would be nice. Right, okay. Yeah, he's expanded Madras then to size 7, so Madras is going to be a very large airfield. But the thing is, it'll be a large airfield for us to use when we do eventually take it ourselves, so that's not too bad. But he's built it up in India, so I imagine he expects something there. So we captured Rangoon, Kuching, Bima, Rambutyo? Something like that. 38th JNF arrives. First Radiant Sentai arrives at Bangkok, so I moved them back there. We had a AKL arrive at Tokyo. Ooh. Swaltao. Oh, right, yes, that's obviously based in coastal China. I can probably have that unit move back then towards Swaltao. Let's make sure I've got the heavy cruisers. I think I do have the heavy cruisers in here now. Yes, there we go. The Tone and Chikuma. Now, this is my favorite class of heavy cruiser. The Tone class is like my... I love the Tone class. I would like to get a model of the Tone class one day. The reason why I like the Tone class is because look at that endurance. That's 12,000 endurance. That's freaking ridiculous. That's so nice. So bloody nice. I just like them. They are my favorite cruiser. I just like them for that range. And the other thing I like them for is the fact that they can handle so many aircraft. Like, these guys can actually carry 5 Jakes each, which is, like, crazy. That's so bloody good. I do need to tone down... tone. I do need to tone down the distance they're covering there. It's not worthwhile incurring the operation losses. But no, they're very nice ships. I do like them. I would be very happy to keep them alive if I can. I just wish I could get more of these guys. Yeah, exactly. It is really nice. So you can see that they will receive that upgrade quite late there. Yeah, they're just really bloody good, aren't they? It's like they're fast. Like, they can manage 35 knots. They've got 15 crews. They've got okay maneuver. They've got very good AA as far as it goes for Japan. The reason being is they've got like 8 of these dual-purpose guns. They've also got the 25s. I mean, they don't particularly matter, but at least there's something. And then they have 12, and they've actually got 2 reloads of the long-lance torpedoes. They have the 200mm guns. They've got 8 of them. They're very nice. Very nice. Obviously carry 5 actual assets. They can carry 300 troops. They can carry 100 cargo. They're really good ships. They are really good ships. I'd say the Allies, well, the Americans have the Boise CLs, and like the Brooklyn CLs, I think they are. They're really good. They're really good. But the Tone is, I think it's really, it stands out to me amongst the other heavy cruisers, and as far as it goes, it's like, I don't think there's many cruisers that are superior. Raiding his ship, and I'd love to do that. I mean, that's it. They could potentially do something like that because, well, yeah, they have that capability. But it's like, as Grim said there, and as Thor said there, they are essentially the carrier's best friends. They are just fantastic. They're really good. But yeah, it's a shame that they get radar so late, but it doesn't particularly matter that much. See, that the only thing that changes there is essentially the radar installation. In 43 though, December, they do have... Yeah, so they gain additional 25 mils. They gain the Type 22 radar, the Type 13 radar. And then they gain additional 25s because, ooh, the 25s. I want more of those. More of the 12.7s, please. Oh, well. Yeah, the Taco. Taco. Yeah. You know, I'm not too sure, therefore. Not too sure. Right, so we have Tone, we have Mogami, Maya, Takao, well, Takao. Yeah, let's see. Similar levels of armor, but obviously they do have more 200mm guns. Not as many dual-purpose secondary guns and actually smaller caliber secondary guns. But they have more... Well, they have additional torpedo mounts. Like, the Tone has 2 torpedo mounts, which I think are 8. So I think they have the same amount of torpedoes, but they have more torpedo mounts. Which, in fairness, I mean, they have 2 reloads for those, 1 reload for those. In fairness, I suppose that makes them a little bit harder in combat because, well, they can't all be taken out. Interesting, really. Right. So it looks like the... Hang on. It's not complaining today for some reason. Why is it not complaining? Partial garrison. For some reason, that's counted as 11 out of 20 instead of 8, which is weird. Yeah, well that's a grim. I do have a... Yeah, I mean I've got those guys on the way out there. But okay, if it's not complaining about that, I'm quite happy about that. Okay, they need to head into Georgetown. No, we're looking good. We're looking good. I think I'll make the decision to use paratroopers out this way. We do have paratroopers over here. I can't drop that many paratroopers though, that's the only problem there. But in fairness, I do have the armored units that could move down that way. I think what I'm going to do then is continue to march south here, really. I can leave the engineers here because they actually do... the very good thing about this is, like, you take a look at the 16th Engineer Regiment. So they've got level 1 fortifications. The 56th Division will begin to have its own fortifications soon enough as well. The reason about the 56th being so good is the fact that they have the IJ engineers. They also have these 12 engineers here. Obviously, there's 2 disabled. But they will have their own fortifications soon enough as well. So yeah, we're going to have them continue south. 124th, it seems like it did have its actual progress reset. But I'd like to go ahead and take the rest of Java. We'll come back to the mountains. Yeah, the light cruisers. Yeah. There are some nice light cruisers that do come, but the thing is we don't get enough of them, and this is it, they arrive quite late. But we work with what we've got. Okay. Yeah, so we'll continue south there. The headquarters can continue south. The reason why I want it south is I can have it positioned here. So I can have it in combat mode, and then it will be able to actually aid both bases over here in like both battles. Obviously I do need to tell them to plan for one or the other, but it will actually be in a position to aid both if I so wish to do so. Also holds down that hex line, which is good. Okay. I might have that division taken south, to be honest. Yeah, more APs here. There's a lot of ships out here at Singapore. I decided actually, you guys are going to be happy, I decided to actually go ahead and expand the shipyards over here at Singapore. I'm going to have them built up to 100,000 ton capacity. So you can see that we've got quite a way to go here. But I think it's worthwhile, it'll not take too long. It does require supply, but I thought it was worthwhile to do so. The reason is, this is the repair shipyard. It's like the Creme de la Creme of the area, really. Like, Singapore is pretty damn well protected. It's about as well protected. If Singapore's fallen, then things are not going well in the Dutch East Indies anyway. We do have a number of bases that will protect it. He could come out this way, but obviously we'll have these bases here to try and insulate it. It's also a very large base in of itself, so it's hard to suppress there. Yeah, it's not ideal really, is it? I mean, we're going to have the actual... Let's see. So... Now, they don't move too slowly. I might have a move at full speed to arrive tomorrow, to be honest. It might be worthwhile doing. I think I might do that. Yeah, they move 4 hexes per phase. I want to get them into Port Blair as soon as possible, really. Just have them escort. Yeah, I could go at cruise speed. I might just go at cruise speed, but I think it's one of those. If I can get them there tomorrow, at least when they're there tomorrow, they can have like the entire day after unloading. Actually saying that, there's the construction engineers over here that I can come in first, so I might as well just have them move at cruise anyway. Yeah, let's go cruise. Yeah, it's because they're on 11 knots, which slows them down. I say 11 knots because they're on the Hushimis. Actually, no, their cruise is up to 14 now. That's quite odd. Strange. Okay. As you do. Hang on a second. Yeah, there we go. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, there we go. So their cruise speed is 11. Yeah, they'll arrive tomorrow. I do have these 6 shipping engineers over here. Those guys are good because they do actually have naval support here as well. So, that's strange. So they should have about 36 or so naval support, which is going to be very nice. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, so we're up to level 2 airfield here today, which is excellent. That makes it easier on the actual aircraft here on the ground, which is nice. It just means that they have better facilities to look after them. It's been a very strange time out here, really. Because he came into Port Blair, he was 1 hex out from Port Blair, which looked like it was some sort of like amphibious landing that would arrive there. He does have these assets over here. We see 1 unit out here, which is intriguing in of itself there, really. The thing is, well, now that we have Rangoon, there's not that much he can do. Because once I can actually get some assets into Rangoon, then he's going to suffer. But we'll have Port Blair use as our proper base there. And this is it. I'd like to get the 3rd Air Division probably moved up to that area. But we'll see. I mean, we have a number of actual assets to make these things work. We have the Air Flotilla there, which is going to move to Port Blair. I'll get the 3rd Air Division moved up to probably this area, or even Southern Army. But Southern Army's in a great position where it is. The good thing with Southern Army is I could actually have them... I'd love to get them on the major road and march in that way, but it's too slow. So I might as well have them railed down south. Have them railed down, I'd imagine down to Chumphon, move across on the roads, and then sail down of there. Likely so. Yeah, 11 knots is not bad. They're pretty good like that. Yeah, so there we go, we're unloading here. So, yeah, we're looking pretty good. How many engineers do we have here then? So, 66 engineers. I could go to fortifications. I don't think it makes a difference, in all honesty. The good news is now we have Rangoon. So Rangoon doesn't have that supply there right now, but that supply will move into Rangoon now. And the excellent thing is I do actually have rail lines to Rangoon from SunYan, which is excellent. And technically, once I take these units out of the equation, I can actually rail up here to Prome, which is nice. I'll be able to rail up here soon enough. So yeah, we're looking pretty excellent. I think what I'm going to do here then, so that's broken up. I'm going to have them march to the south. I think I'll have a unit march this way. Actually, what's the terrain here? Jungle. So I think they would move... Jungle. Infantry. Yeah, so infantry moves at 5 in jungle, which is awful. I love how the United Kingdom is all the way over here. Oh dear. Yeah, you can't take that base. Yeah. So I'll likely do even just have both divisions begin marching. And I could potentially have 33rd remain in position for the time being, maybe rest this turn, and then have it moved upon Bastion. But I think this is it. There's 4 units over here. I don't have great detection, but there's not much there. I need to chase these guys here. If I can chase them with 2 divisions, they're not going to have a great time. I'm going to have a tank regiment there shortly enough. It doesn't look like they're marching right now, which is interesting. Yeah, the jungle. But the reason why I'm complaining is I would have marched these units over to this side, like march them across, but there's like no road here. So, because it's jungle and you're marching this way rather than marching that way, you have no roads essentially. Right, so what I can do here then, and it looks like 2nd RTA is moving there. Yep, there we go. So these guys are at 40 miles. So the 7th RTA A division will arrive here tomorrow. Yeah, you can see that this pink over here is like a trail. Trails are actually not as bad as I originally thought. They allow infantry to march 10 miles a day. So the good thing is it's like march across clear terrain. It's not as good as like secondary roads. It's not as good as like major roads. But when you march through jungles, actually having the ability to march across is pretty good. So we have that for us. Now, I do have a 2nd RTA. He's very brave to march south. He might be thinking, right, I'll go into Pegu, I'll take Pegu, and then I might be able to something or other. He doesn't really have a way out now. There's just no way out. And you can see that we'll have 5th Division remaining here tomorrow. 5th Division's going to have more AV unloaded tomorrow. Yeah, you can see there's... let's work this out, actually. I'm shouting at maps. I'm going to do this with a calculator. Take a look at this in a moment. Da-da-da. Come on, phone. I need to get a new phone. It's slow as hell. Right. I bet people have worked it out by now, and I could have done it the same, but I'm too lazy. Oh well. 19. And the 5, and the 3, and the 2, and the 1. So that's another 122 then, plus the 353 we have there. So that's 475, which doesn't seem right. So I might put a number in there wrong. 46, 27, 19, 19, 5, 3, 2, and 1. That's kind of weird, 475. As you do. Okay. It might just be a slightly stronger division then, actually. Fair enough. But yep, that's going to be a full strength division there that unloads tomorrow. Let's take a look then. We have all these heavy cruisers. In fairness, if he arrives in Pegu, I could bombard him with the heavy cruisers as well. And I think that might be a good idea, actually. He'll be in the Hex, I can bombard him. We're not going to obviously hit our base. We can bombard him and really cause a hell of a lot of disruption and fatigue. I think that's a good idea. So let's figure this out then. Then what I can do for the actual garrison is I could have the 6th RTA and 1st RTA probably move in there. I don't need a garrison here at Pegu, which is quite nice. It makes it easier on me. I mean, the 6th RTA A division could remain here anyway. Yeah, quite handy. Now, this is why I didn't have Imperial Guard Division switch over planning to Rangoon. So I just didn't think it was worthwhile. They'll have 100%, yeah, they've got 100% planning for Singapore. So I might even keep that up. When the division actually reforms, I might even just keep that as is. So if we take a look over here, yes, they're at 100 as well. So when I put them into rest and training, they only gain experience when you have 100% preparation. So it might just be worthwhile keeping them on 100 prep and just keeping their experience increasing, really. Looking good. Now, it's looking very positive, actually. We had a bit of a scare down here, but it's really not turned out as we thought it would. I'd like to get some more supply down here to the Shortlands. I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to do so and do it. Yeah, let's take a look over here at Signal Intelligence Tacoma, 45, 7, 65, 105. I need to check those out. I always forget to check. Calcutta. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Calcutta would be really nice for us. We're almost within range. I mean, for example, like Magway over here, because it does produce supply, would be nice, because we could have that, not have to worry about supplying an airbase or anything like that. We have a level 3 airfield here. On a rail line as well, which is nice. We have airfields here. There's a lot of airfields in this little area we could use to strike against Calcutta. I mean, Chiang Mai, as what it is now, is 16 hexes from Calcutta. If I had the G4M1s, I could actually hit Calcutta right now. And we will be looking at doing that. I will need to actually look at reconnaissance over here. But this is it. It's turning against the British over here. We're making good headway in Burma. And we are closing in now. Moving south in Java. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, looking very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit worrying regarding the Kidbatai, so we'll have to take a look at that one. So they should not have been moving that slowly. So something's gone wrong there. Because they should have been about there. The AO is actually outpacing them for some reason. Which should not be happening. Mission speed. Mission. Mission. Yep, they're on mission. They're on mission. They're on mission, but they're not following them. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. So we'll have to take a look at that, because that's been kind of weird. And like in 2 days, we've only made it 7 hexes from truck. That's not right. Should have made 8 hexes in 1 day, but oh well. Okay, we'll go with that then. We are going to be devising plans to actually take more speed, which is going to be quite fun there. Been good to have you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But it's really nice to see that Rangoon's fallen today. So we know that, if I take a look at the actual combat report from yesterday, he did have a brigade there. So he does have a decent bit of AV, but what I can do now is I could go ahead and actually just use bombers and bomb these units and make them move in combat mode. And frankly, he's not going to be able to escape at that point. Ideally, we get the torpedo strike here tomorrow. It's extreme overcast, which seems to be quite lucky for him. It's forecasting rain tomorrow, so ideally it'd be good. He's moving the Gloucestershire Battalion, perhaps, and the 17th Division, but this is what I'm talking about, is the fact that we have this AV here. It's just too late. He's just too late. Another 2 tank regiments moving in there, so it's 107 tanks moving. Now, the British can handle tanks better than the Chinese. They're very much like the Americans as well. They can handle... The Dutch, to an extent, can as well. Not as well, of course, but the British do have at least the TOEs to actually be able to handle tanks. Chinese forces do not. We'll have an attack at Xi'an tomorrow, which is looking very good. I mean, what we'll do then with Xi'an is I'd like to have... Yeah, we'll kick him out. He'll retreat over here to the north. We'll attack again then. Ah, thanks there, Op. Much appreciated, my man. And this is it. It's just all about experience. I mean, we could have had Singapore here in this game on the 10th of January, but we had some really bad rolls, to be honest. But it is what it is, and we are making progress. I mean, Rangoon's gone so easily, to be honest. We barely had to fight for it, which I'm quite happy about. I'd have to take a look and see where the units retreated to, because they could have retreated from Rangoon to here, which is actually like... Yeah, they must have done then. So yeah, that's easy enough to handle. I could cross the river there, take 2 days to cross the river, but the thing is it's only... Well, actually take about 3 days. Actually, maybe a little bit longer there. Not really worthwhile. Not really worthwhile. Need to march to the north. The first RTA can remain here then in position. I'll have these fellows move north as well. I'll take them 2 days to march out. What I'm going to do then is have the 6th RTA begin marching. Now, I do have the tank regiment moving across, but I need the RTA in there. That unit in Rangoon's cut off. Well, this is it. Technically, he still has this hex over here, so, like, that's his hex, that's his hex, that's his hex. He can move that way. These units over here into the north and Burma are technically cut off. Their supply situation is absolutely fine, though. What I'm going to do then is have units march south here. So what we'll do then is, it'll take them 2 days to arrive in this hex here. We'll have that hex back in our control then. We'll be here in 2 days as well, so when he marches into Bagu, then he won't own this hex and then we'll regain the ability. But then he'll march through this, so I need to march a unit through this again. That's fine. What's the hotkey for hex control? W. W is the hotkey there. Which is why I'm going to move a tank unit down here, really, just make sure he doesn't retreat down that way. Yeah, we'll get more forces moving out this way. Let's see. Wooded terrain. I do have the mixed brigade moving in there to join them. I'd like to get other forces moving there. I just need to push the perimeter out here. We're looking pretty good. Like, how much is Xi'an worth? Xi'an's worth only 20 points to us as the Japanese. It's only worth 2 points to the Allies there, which is surprising. Lang Chao's worth 300 to us. I mean, this is it. I'm gonna have to take it as it comes, but if I do smell blood in the water, and if I do smell... And what I mean by that, if I do smell the opportunity to move in upon Chongqing, then I think we will try to move upon Chongqing. I likely will have about 1,000 AV set down south anyway. But if I do smell blood in the water, we will go for it. Which would be nice. I need to get to that hex. If I can control that hex there, the wooded rough terrain. We need that mountain hex there especially. That mountain hex there is very important. The reason being, it's... Well, it's a crossroads there. I would like to be able to control the base and Kang as well. So sure, I don't have any paratroopers to go ahead and take that. So it seems empty, but I'm not too sure. But we'll try. It's secondary roads here, but armor could make good progress down here. So what I'd likely do is have an armored unit or maybe more move down this way to take control of that. Just every hex gained is really good. And it's 2 days or so. Yeah, it's around about 2 days for armored units to move on secondary hex road hexes. 4 days for infantry, so every hex gained there is well worthwhile. He's not in a good position right now. And I imagine he's aware of that. the reason why I think he's not been moving his actual ground assets is just, well, he is and he isn't. We are seeing smart moves, like over here is quite smart. That looks like it was aimed at actually trying to secure Hong Kong. Like, there's only 16 Navy in here. So I just got that in here. But that's fair enough, it'll actually act as the garrison there. I do have a 104th C, which will arrive here tomorrow. So he's been trying to move over here for a while, so what I'll do then is have that cut off then. These fellows can move back into their... Yeah, down here to Wild Tower. I do have a unit there that can move into. So in fairness, actually, let's see. Roads. I do have the roads here as well. Roads connect over here to Moy. There's a full regiment here, which is nice. Which is fine for Hong Kong, which is not a second grade, but still not too bad. That's clear terrain as well. 80 AV is needed. That's another 17. Have I moved back in there? These fellows, I think, will just march this way to Chow. Yep. Okay, I'll call it there. So thank you very much for watching there, ladies and gentlemen. You have witnessed the first and final battle for Rangoon. There may be more in the future years, but we'll hope not. But in fairness, it's looking pretty good. If we can continue to push the actual victory point element, that's going to be quite nice. And we're looking at major victory now. And if we took Moresby, that would be another 280 there. Lanchow would be another 300 there. Yep, quite a number. I'll answer this last question, then I'll go. I'm really bad for saying I'm going to go and then don't go. I'm really bad at it. The Chinese situation is, with Xi'an, well, he's going to lose that oil, he's going to lose that fuel. The big one is going to be taking Langchao, but once we take this area here and cut off northern China, like this part of China, he's going to be essentially screwed in this area. The Burma Road ends today. Like, the Burma Road is gone now. He can't trace supply from Rangoon, I believe it is. I think he has to trace it from Rangoon all the way into China. Like to certain bases over here. I'm going to have to read up on that. But it should have ended today. So that means he's going to have no more additional supply coming in from Burma. As far as I can say as of yet. It might be that we have to go ahead and take these bases here to make sure it doesn't. There will still be some supply transitioned across here, which you could do manually. But he will not have the 500 a day extra coming in, I believe. Once he loses the fuel and the oil, like over here as well, and once that's cut off, that means eventually his heavy industry will turn off. So like that 361 heavy industry there, which is producing like 700 of supply-ish, 700 plus supply a turn, will be turned off. It'll take a while, but it'll be turned off. Like, he's got a heavy industry over here at Changsha. He doesn't actually have that much in the way of industry. Like, he has a decent bit of light industry, but this is it. I mean, that 361 is producing like something like almost 700 something supply, 700 and something supply. That 181 light industry is producing 181 supply. So he'll still have supply production, but the thing is, it's not going to be able to sustain him. Especially in combat, it'll just not be able to sustain him. And that's good. And then every city we do take, like the industry over here, makes him weaker and weaker and weaker. We're in a very, very strong position. He's given that to us. I never thought we would be in this position. But it may be that we're looking at the ability to conquer China utterly. And with China conquered utterly, it might be that we potentially turn our eyes to the Soviet Union, perhaps. But I think I'm going to have to turn away from China from India for that point. But who knows, we'll consider it and we'll see what can be achieved. And this is where I'll actually call the end of stream. So thank you for watching. I am SunYan. Have a great day. Maybe we can get the turn sent off today. I'm not too sure. It probably will be seeing it tomorrow. But until then, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now. If you are enjoying the series, please do go ahead and follow myself here on Twitch. I'd be much advised. And subscribe on YouTube if you're new. And possibly become a Twitch subscriber. That'd be much appreciated. If you've got Amazon Prime, it costs you nothing. And it gives me about $5 a month, which is really awesome. I will be going to university next month. I'll be starting, the first day at university will be 21st of September, actually, for the introductory week. And then I'll be starting properly on the 28th. You can ask me on Discord there, you can ask me on Discord, and I'll answer the question. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.